Or nothing happened that was serious.
Well,
maybe that
Rob
was
said to me, Fran,
We're diving to the
how many years have you already been friends? Don't you think she'd want to know?
Is that why you told me? Because Rob made you feel guilty?
Not
guilty.
Right on the same day we saw the kids, but we didn't know quite how to tell you. Well, everything was okay. Nobody got hurt. That was the good news.
That was the good news.
The bad news is they had a party.
Well, they were going up their top roof and jumping into the pool.
Did you do it, Greg?
It's 3 stories.
No, I didn't do that. I missed that party though. Otherwise, who knows what happened.
Oh, and Fran told me that I thought,
7 feet, 7, 8 feet. The deep end, providing you jump it. But the
well,
deep
there's
end
the
is
shallow end of the pool where they were jumping from.
Jumping in shallow end.
They were
Yeah,
jumping
it's a
2.5
shallow
feet of water from 35 feet in the air, 15 feet from the
Unfortunately,
edge of
nobody
the
got
pool.
Well, they were hitting that slope, you know, that slope that goes down into the deep end. No, I wasn't, but I heard the stories.
Come on, Craig.
I wasn't there, but I heard the stories. They were hitting that slope that goes down at a diagonal, and you skip right down into the deep end.
Oh, on the dive off.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
I think they get it every single opportunity. Yeah. And we were lucky.
Yeah.
Major. We tried to be responsible.
I know.
I'm just gonna keep Greg off my neck.
Now you be careful.
I didn't.
It's your turn now, Fran. That's why the flowers are there.
Well, Tony's going to tell a story and then I'll go last. What about Greg?
I don't really. I haven't had much time to think about this.
Well, you've had all night here.
Well, I've been thinking, but I don't think I need.
For Greg's story.
Yeah, you could go ahead and go that way.
Give me the camera. Give me the camera. I want to get this on film.
I'm not gonna
Tell me what buttons to push. Get over there by your mom.
I don't know.
Greg, tell the truth, that's all.
But it's your father's turn, maybe. I don't know.
Alright, you go with the I'll tell the story.
All right,
No, Greg, you better be. Sorry, Greg. Better be printable, right?
I'd forgotten this.
Oh, no.
But Fran sort
You
of
got that going?
mentioned it today.
The red button,
and
red
I think
thumb?
I think it's a classic tale.
Got it. This thing here?
Yeah, hit it.
It
See REC
says
in there?
REC.
Or pause?
It says REC.
There you go.
Jerry,
You're all
remember
set.
this
You
story.
probably, I don't know if you remember it.
Dr. Ferrari's going first.
Many years ago, I think back in the 1970s, we used to go to Snow Ridge for New Year's Eve skiing, and of course the boys came with us, and we went with the Mowers and the Hansons used to go every year. Dave Hanson and Dennis, and Jerry and Sharon came a few years. I don't know if you were there this particular year.
Yeah, we went.
Hmm?
That's right. We went to Vegas.
Well, you were there. I don't know if you were there this year. Well, this one year we used to go up to Snow Ridge and stay at this. Well, we didn't stay at this place, but we used to have dinner there. A place called the Towpath, a little inn with a few rooms and a restaurant and so forth. Well, one night we had dinner at the Towpath. Of course, my family was in the contact lenses, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself having a. Was that New Year's Eve? Were you there that day? Okay. And then suddenly I get a frantic message from Francis here saying, "I lost my contact lens." I said, "Well, what happened?" "Well, it's in the."
We were there too.
It's in the bathroom. It was in the ladies' room, and it popped. Something happened. I don't know. It popped out. One of them or both of them popped out. One of them popped out. She says, "I think it's in the. I think it went down the drain." I says, "Well, what do you want me to do?" "Well, get my contact lens for me." I said, "Well, what does she expect me to do?" So I actually, when the coast was clear, I walked into the ladies' room and there was nothing there, and so she was frantic. She had to have her contact lens. She says, "You got to get that lens for." I says, "Well, I says."
It's in the trap.
I says, "It's in the trap. You got to take the trap." I says, "Well, I don't have any tools." He says, "Well, we got to get that trap off. We got to get the contact lens." So one of our other friends there, I remember Joe Rainier. He was there with the Polas. Were there also. So now Joe always carried tools with him.
A belt around his
I
waist.
got tools. I says, Joe, you know, I frequently went over it. I says, Joe, you have tools? He says, I have tools. I says, well, Joe, I explained the problem. I says, well, Joe, look, I think our friend lost her contact lens. I think it's in the trap. We need to take the trap off. He says, plumbing. He said, I don't know. He says, plumbing is complicated. I says, Joe, do you have the tools? I says, give me the wrench. So Joe warned me. He says, no. He said, in other words, he said, don't mess around. So he gave me a wrench. We go back to the tow path. And I sneak back into the ladies' room. You know, he's looking. Somebody's out there guarding the front door, and I'm in the tow path, and I take the trap off, right? So, boom, trap comes off.
Do you know what the trap looks like, the ladies?
You know, that's that siphon thing.
Let me
So
grow.
I get that trap off, so I, you know, tore it upside down and banged it a few times.
Nothing.
No lens.
She couldn't see in there.
I says, well, okay. I'm thinking to myself, well, I fulfilled my obligation. She can't ask me to do it. You know, what more can she ask me to do? I ripped the trap off with great pain and no lens, so I put the trap back and I tightened all the nuts. One little problem. After that, every time they use the sink, water all over the floor.
Oh, you didn't get the trap back on right.
Well,
What'd you know?
like my friend says, plumbing is complicated. Plumbing is complicated, right? So I says, so I tightened it up as much. I said, let's get the hell out of here. So this guy, this inn owner was so bummed out. He was complaining. You know, he was telling people, look, this guy comes in, he takes my trap apart, he puts it back together, there's water all over it. Nobody can use the ladies' room. It's ridiculous.
And you're saying, really?
Did you ever get your back?
No, well, we were going to go back to apologize.
In fact, the Mowers talked about that from, you know, every time they went in there, this guy complained about this guy who came, what did he do? They ripped this trap apart. Put it back together.
I never found my lens, and they put this big sign on me the next day that said blind skier.
You should be ashamed, Tony Ferrari, because Fran and I took apart more than one trap with Frank's big sucker of a, what do you call it, a wrench? We took, when we lost our lenses, you or I, we would take the trap apart.
You put it back?
Together
It
again.
didn't leak?
We never had any trouble, did we?
Well, they never stuck around to see if it worked. It looks good, that's fine, then I'll take it.
I'll tell you, you need. Well, I guess he had to get a plumber.
I don't know how much I got. The last time I looked, it said pause on it. I think I must have hit the button in.
I saw it blinking, so for most of the time I think you got it.
I don't think he knew anything. Let her rip, Greg.
Give him the flowers. He's got to have.
Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Wait for Mr. Weinthal.
Yeah, he might have some interesting facts to add.
Yeah, he's probably.
The restrooms are kind of far away.
There's one right here.
Your kid.
All right. Okay. Not much of a public speaker, but I've been shouting this. All right, this is not so much a story about my mother, but besides, pretty much about me.
Do I know this story? Do I know?
I don't believe.
I doubt it.
I think I know.
Does she know about the story?
I don't think so, but it's about 100 years later instead of 2 weeks later.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, Mrs. Weinthal.
Go ahead, Gregory.
All
This
right.
had happened many years ago. Still in high school. You've gone away someplace, left me alone. Weinthals were away.
Again.
Again. Weinthals were gone.
Anthony wasn't around, just you.
Anthony was not around, so I was probably
You were seeing.
a
Yeah, I was at school.
high school. He was in school. And so Sue had a party. What else?
Doug and Anthony were gone.
Sue had a party. Of course, so I was going to stop by. As we always do. So anyways, come later tonight, it gets really late, and me and Sue are just hanging out in the kitchen for a while, just talking and everything, having a good time. And, you know, it was like 2 o'clock or so, maybe even 3. It's getting kind of late, and I had maybe a little bit too much to drink that night.
Ginger ale.
Are you sure?
Too many ginger ales.
You gotta watch that ginger ale.
And so I journeyed out on the
deck?
bank, not the bank deck, right out toward our house. That.
Kitchen deck, yeah.
And I having too much to drink, I threw up over the deck. But it just so happened that Jenny,
And the dog was
the
right
dog,
down there.
was right underneath.
Oh, no, poor Jenny.
And I ended up getting sick all over the dog.
Jenny.
I wish Susie were here. Susie would love this.
The dog was down. Well, first, she was licking it up, right?
Oh man.
And then she was right underneath it, and it was just pointing. She just got nailed. Sue tried the best to hose her off and everything. I hear like the next Monday, she's telling me that Mrs. Weinthal.
No, the next day, Dad and I came home, and the dog came to us right away, and I said to Susie, the dog smells like she... And Susie just went to pieces. She was rolling all over the floor and pulled her head. And every time I say, was the dog sick? And it took her about an hour to tell us. In between gas breath, that Gregory got sick over the dog, all over the dog.
Hope you didn't spend money taking the dog to the vet.
She'd already bathed the dog, the residual smell. Anyhow, we had a lot of fun
Did we
about
nail
this.
Greg with this?
Because Gregory had never done anything wrong that Dick and I ever knew anything about. And Dick and I thought, if we didn't think it was funny from a responsibility standpoint. But it sure was funny in the context of where it came from.
You had to be there for it.
Everybody hit me over the head with that every now and then.
No, Dick and I have, you never knew that Dick and I knew this, did you? Unless Susie
Yes,
told you.
I knew that.
You gave me a couple comments later about the dad.
Much later.
Because Susie made us promise that we would never, ever
I think
confront you
Sue
like that.
eventually told me.
It could have been better. You could have gotten spotted.
I never said that. Nor to your mother and dad.
No, they never.
I didn't know
that.
Not even 2 weeks later, she never told
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
How many
You
years
guys
ago
are
is
even.
this?
I don't get how in a million years could
Grand, you're even.
No, I knew he was that right.
No sweat.
I never want to do this. I don't
It's
want
good
to.
not to know everything.
Bingo.
Oh, I love hearing your stories after that, because now they're funny.
Yeah,
At the time, they would not have been funny.
Not funny.
I'm sorry
It's
about
altered.
but
It's Alteredville.
You apologize to Jenny.
Now we know why Jenny's blind, though.
And death.
Yeah. Poor Jenny. God.
Good
all
dog.
my fault.
That was so funny though. Susie couldn't tell us for the longest time, but every time I would say to her, the dog really smells funny, Susie would go into convulsions. And she just couldn't tell us what it was all about. But she, it was obvious, something was extremely.
Something that was really, it wasn't funny, but it made the day for me. Let's see, this is my 50th birthday, so this was my 35th birthday.
I brought the picture.
I've got it. Do you have it?
Go ahead.
See,
Now you tell the story.
see if I remember the story. Sugar.
Your
Okay.
35th
I should tell the stories.
No, I won't forget that.
That's a few years ago.
35th.
That's a few years ago.
We were going up to, we were going to Smuggler's Notch.
Come
Was it the
on.
first time we were going?
New England, you're in my country.
Yeah, right. And it was my 35th birthday. It was winter break, which always happens around my birthday. And we were all going up to Smuggler's Notch. And for some reason, my 35th birthday was very traumatic. And I can remember getting in the car and I was sobbing all the way up there. Because I really thought my family probably didn't remember that it was my birthday. Because it had happened on occasions when they didn't remember that it was my birthday.
I don't remember any of those occasions. I always bring them up every year.
So anyway, we were meeting the Craycross up there, I think. And we, correct me if because I don't know if I remember everything about it, but we arrived, it was late that night, and we went to the Salty Dog for dinner. And Sharon, being the thoughtful person that she always is, knew that it was my birthday, and she had brought this cake all the way from Rochester. And so after we had had dinner, she brought this cake out, and it was a beautiful cake, and it had a skier on it with a green ski outfit.
You
which was
remember.
the same color that my outfit was.
I brought the
And
picture.
she has a picture of it. Create the cake. But that was really.
But you know what
so
else
sweet.
is about that weekend? Did you remember when Tony was in it?
Was that, I couldn't remember if that
There's a
was.
picture of Tony too.
Okay.
24.
That was the same weekend that Tony,
You're 11.
about a week before that, had dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, right.
Trying to do
shoulder
moguls
weekend.
at Bristol.
Doesn't seem
No, you went over. You followed me over a jump. You did. I remember
The
that.
boys were little.
Oh, Sharon.
The boys were.
Look at us. Look at Andy
The
and
boys were
Raj.
nice, pretty for sure.
Oh, that is
Boys were
hysterical.
10 years old.
Anthony was in
Good morning.
that. I know.
And there she was,
10 years old then.
35.
And see the cake?
Her
We
twins are-
got it. We have to around this Thursday. This is the, because we went up, didn't we? Didn't we go up there twice?
Yes, we were up there
And
twice.
that was the first time we went up there?
Yeah, that wasn't
Well,
us.
That's someone else.
The thing is, we looked at those prints, those imprints, and we didn't realize who did
Yeah,
it.
we went up, we couldn't believe it. All of a sudden, from nowhere, somebody started skiing.
Yeah,
They got these things on the
I don't think so.
Those are great shots.
They had closed, it was minus 80 wind chill up there, and they closed, so it gets pretty windy, it gets pretty breezy.
I like these pictures.
I think of all the people I like to celebrate in Chief Fran. You're worth celebrating.
Thank you. Really nice. This one looks like, feels like a.
That's come from Florida, that's from Cookie and Dave.
You know, I was gonna say that, it looks like Cookie's writing. I thought that. Came from
Well,
Florida.
thank you, yes, Cookie called me ahead and wanted to know what's happening with Grant's birthday, and I told her tonight, and she said, I'll get it to your house that time, I promise.
They moved to Florida?
Just make sure you.
Yeah.
It was nice, sure.
They moved about 4 years ago, I think.
He opened up, runs an amusement park down there.
Really?
Yeah, a little go-karts, batting cages, and what else?
Almost, I thought he's a very enterprising guy.
But he's hit the sticks off.
Yeah, he's
The entertainment buck down in Florida in that part of his woods is,
had a little trouble.
Where is it?
when you see Walt Disney World
He's in,
advertising,
Springdale.
they never
Which
advertise.
is outside
And
of,
they turn
which is
people away.
Tampa.
Oh, haven't you seen it? Walt Disney World, come to Disney World, blah, blah,
And he,
blah. They never
well, he
advertise.
really.
Florida, they congratulations.
What kids are-
Oh, that's cute.
I like the
Oh,
Grant
that's
Florida.
good.
Strange neighborhood. I mean, David was the one in the neighborhood before he moved, who used to wander around in his bathrobe and pajamas and just knock on someone's door.
Saturday or
Coffee
Sunday
in the
for a
morning.
cup of coffee.
Oh,
You know, he
really?
was-
Oh, yeah.
He was
Cherry
perfectly
blossom,
comfortable
green
doing
cherry
that.
blossom roll. Hi. Your coffee
The
pot on?
coffee ready?
Cookie's still sleeping. I'm looking for his thing. Okay, Dave, come on in.
We sort of missed one.
Yeah,
You would.
Yeah, go watch it.
Pass that down.
Read the cards out loud.
Okay. There's something about an old friend. Someone who's known you through so many phases of your life. Someone who's been there for you through wonderful times and tearful times. Someone who loves you like a sister. There's something about an old friend who holds a place in your heart that no new friend could ever quite replace.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, Martha.
I love you.
She is so sweet. It's so nice.
Tim, take it easy, Tim. Happy birthday, Miss Farrar.
Thank you. Are you leaving?
Yeah.
It's Tim, Mom. It's Tim.
Hi.
There's so many Merkles, it's hard to tell which is which.
How many Merkles are there?
5. Terry, Tom, Tid, Todd, Tim, Tom, Ted. I don't know. Can't say them. Hey, Mary Ellen. What? Got your close up.
Sally came all the way from Boston.
I did. And I wouldn't let Jerry
She was a
come.
surprise guest.
Somebody had to stay home and watch the kids, because I heard all these stories about what happens with your kids when you leave. So I said, hey,
Somebody's
somebody's gonna stay home with these animals.
Well, Fran and I tried to watch the kids too, but.
It's so good to be queen. Happy birthday, Your Majesty. That's cute.
The whole book on being 50, right?
Two grand, big 50. Given a choice between laughing and throwing yourself off a building, you might as well laugh. Happy birthday, Sally and Jerry. All right, I'll buy into that.
I do. I've been 50 for over a year now. Laughing helps.
What do you love saying when you find the cars?
I love your outlook.
Yeah, things you'd like to
Well,
write
it
yourself.
does beat the alternative, doesn't it?
You betcha,
Sally?
you betcha. Yeah.
I have told
Yes,
Rob
it
that
is.
many a time that Sally is always laughing.
Glad
She
to
always
have
has a
one.
smile on her face.
Yeah, it helps.
You guys got a room here tonight?
Are you kidding? Let the kids
Listen,
have a
Tony
party?
wouldn't even get
Or not?
That's right.
Tony wouldn't even get a room during the ice storm.
I mean, Gregor's home, you
Oh,
know,
no.
you never know, you have to.
Never know when I'm gonna round
You
up.
have to supervise.
That's very interesting.
What is this? Pretty, pretty.
Pretty. Beautiful.
She'll use it too, she uses these.
It's a put stuff, it's for your stuff.
Williamsburg, oh, she's been there a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. I used
I used to have wallpaper like that.
See how good you done.
Oh, I am really fun, Marty. I mean, I am such. It's just a stupid car.
Rocky roads.
It matches my outfit.
I know.
Metropolitan Museum.
There's no recreation.
Well, Valentine's Day
Get on
is
the
probably
road,
my
you like,
birthday.
ride 30
Isn't that
miles.
pretty? It's a heart. Poison egg. Beautiful.
Yeah, she wraps it up by saying, you better use marriage. She guess she better keep her mouth shut.
Thank you. Love this one.
Company
Number six. Wow. Ooh, those are beautiful. Whoa.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
aren't those beautiful?
Yeah, they are.
Pretty.
Hey, these businessmen, you gotta watch it.
Well, that was a long time ago. He's still around.
If it was a sales manager, I would've told him to buzz off. He's a vice president, yeah, play his game.
Sure, we've heard that story before.
Unfortunately,
I know.
of course I fought.
Yeah, we fought real hard, yeah.
Count your garden by the flowers, never by the leaves that fall. Count your days by golden hours, never remember clouds at all. Count the nights by stars, not shadows. Count your life by smiles, not tears. And with joy on every birthday, count your age by friends, not years.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
isn't that
nice.
beautiful?
He's always telling me whenever I complain about my wrinkles.
The other night she's going about her hands being so wrinkled. I'm on the phone listening, talking about this, and said, just wait, turn the news on. Watching that young man that lost both his arms on his parents' farm right now. You know, and I think he'd love to
I know,
get
it
your
always makes me
hands.
feel guilty.
That's right, I
So going to.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
What's the front
this
side?
is great. This is, well,
Oh,
Andrew
wow.
Lightweather was just here.
Oh, it's
Yes,
all the shows, the
with
video
all the shows,
kids.
and I was saying how I wish I had seen it, but I didn't.
Ran, look what else.
And Rob went to see it, and look at all the music.
Oh, yeah,
I
music.
love it.
Who's it from?
Andrew Lightweather.
Rob. This is well, all of his shows, Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Evita, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Someone said it, did you see it?
Thank
I
you.
thought it was excellent.
Somebody saw.
But it was, I thought it was great.
Forever.
Yes, he was a original fan.
He was this guy's original fan.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, I thought it was
That's
pretty.
not what he looks like. Boy, he looks a lot better.
I know it. Oh, I love this. Greg knows I love Santa. Darling, we were fine, yeah, I love it. Perfect.
At Wagner's,
You can buy that card for Mr. Wangfeller on his birthday.
I understand there was a great deal of turmoil in the delivery room when you were born. The hospital staff fought over who was going to get to slap you.
From your sons?
You see what I added there?
Anthony and Gregory,
You think
they
she-
have this little wooden spoon there.
Did you do the wooden spoon thing too? Oh my God, they don't let me forget it.
Yep.
Ask them.
And do you remember the wooden spoon? And how many did you break, Mom?
I think I ever broke one.
You broke the spoon, it's always getting thrown up in my face, the wooden spoon story.
Greg and Anthony, I gotta tell you something. When you guys were just little guys, Douglas was a big problem. A very big problem. And your mother and I were very close, and we talked a lot. And I was in her kitchen one day, and I said, Fran, I just absolutely cannot control this boy. He's just,
Here you go.
he's so rebellious, and I just cannot get control of him. And your mother said, well, do what I do. Get yourself a wooden spoon. And I said, Fran, I'm not into beating. She said, no, you don't get me wrong. She said, you don't have to beat him. You only threaten with it. So she took her wooden spoon out of the drawer and she tapped it on the counter. She said, I say to my boys, you want this? Bang, bang, bang. You want this? Bang, bang, bang. She said, they do whatever I say. So I got myself a wooden spoon. I got myself a wooden spoon. And Douglas was being really awful one day. And I took my wooden spoon out of the drawer and I said, you want this? You rotten kid? And they went bang on the counter. The end of the spoon flew off. The end of the spoon flew off the handle, went over my head, and hit Doug on the head, and I cracked up laughing. I mean, I absolutely went to pieces. I never used it, never could do anything.
Yeah, she only threatened.
Oh, no, I hit with it.
Oh, she did too. She did too.
I broke a couple.
She wasn't shy.
Yeah.
A lot of times I hit the counter too, though.
Where we've been is where we've learned, and what we've learned, and where we're yet to go. May your 50th birthday be a happy one, and a year ahead filled with all that means the most to you every birthday. All I love always, Carolyn's birthday celebration. I thought about the many years we have been blessed with your friendship. I found these quotes in a very special book of mine, and felt that perhaps they could better express what we feel. Looks like friends should be few and well chosen. Samuel Patterson. A good book is the best of friends, saying today and forever. We will be happy if we can get around to the idea that art is not an outside and extra thing, that it is the natural outcome